Hey there and welcome to my channel. This is Foggy Fiction and I am Haley. I'm a writer living with mental illness and today I'm going to talk to you about my writing fears. Considering I have panic disorder and I'm basically afraid of everything, I narrowed that list down to 5. Number 1, that my writing is not as good as I think it is. Most of us go through this. Imposter syndrome is real, it is very real, and it can be crippling. And as someone who works with an alpha reader, or a person who reads my writing as I'm writing it, as opposed to when I've completed a full draft, I have at least one person out there who's telling me that my writing's good. And also when it's bad so that I can fix those problems. Still, it is something that I wrestle with a lot, and even with the positive feedback from my alpha, I know that there are going to be people out there who don't like my writing. That's just natural. But it is which people like or don't like my writing that leads me to the next one, that I will query and never get an agent. There are amazing books out there who were passed up by several agents before it landed in the lap of one who liked it. I think I read somewhere that Stephen King used to keep his rejections tacked to his wall so that he could see them. I don't know how true that is. I feel like I read it in On Writing, but I could be completely wrong because it's been years since I've read that book. I need to read it again. But while I'm definitely prepared for rejections, I still worry that I won't be able to find an agent who likes what I've got to offer at all. Which, of course, leads me to the next one. If it does get published, no one's going to read it. What if I am able to successfully query my story? I get an awesome agent, and we're able to get my book polished and published. And then no one reads it. I know it's mostly a marketing thing, and I used to work in marketing, still do kind of with the retail job I have. But sometimes even awesome marketing can't get a person to pick up a book. And then there's the opposite side, the next fear. People do read it, and no one likes it. That obviously goes back to the first fear I mentioned, and if you make it this far with traditional publishing, it's safe to say that you probably shouldn't have to worry about that. Not too much anyway. There will be people who like it, and there will be people who don't. Every book, even your favorite book, has haters. That's just a fact. But my fear is, what if everyone hates it? No one likes it. Yeah. And then, of course, shaking my mind away from that fear, it does its what if thing and leads me to the next one. Okay, they like it. It's a great book. I query it, pick up a good agent, it's polished and published, it's awesome, people love it, and I am never able to reach that quality of writing again. I hate my mind sometimes. My mind likes to go to the worst case scenario in basically any given situation. I think it might be some type of coping mechanism to have me prepared for the worst case scenario just in case it does happen. And if I'm prepared for the worst case scenario, then if a bad scenario happens that isn't quite as bad, I'm extra prepared. I feel like, again, every writer probably goes through this. I've been writing for more than 20 years, and I know they say that if you started writing when you were 7, that you don't count that because obviously your writing is bad then. But those first, 10 years of writing, it's still important, you know? And while the writing obviously wasn't good during those first 10 years or so, I kept writing during that time. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be where I am now with my writing abilities. That time led to the breakthroughs and the passion and the developments that made this want to be an author an actual possibility. During all of that time, I developed my style and found my voice, which I feel has a lot to do with the roots of this fear and should help to kind of ease it. It doesn't though, which is probably totally normal. So there it is, my top 5 current writing fears. Let me know if you faced any of these and what you did to help ease the fears. I always want new coping mechanisms. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're interested in watching my very clumsy journey as a writer living with mental illness. Enjoy the happy moments.